It's 50 minutes past the hour right now, and Donald Trump taking the stage tonight as he hosts Saturday Night Live. The GOP candidate's appearance comes with quite some controversy, as you can imagine. Several groups preparing to march from Trump Tower to SNL studios to denounce his stint. Let's talk about this with political comedian and Sirius XM radio host Dean Obeidallah. Also with us, Luke Montgomery. He is a spokesman for DeportRacism.com, one of the groups protesting Trump's appearance tonight. So thank you, gentlemen, both of you, for being with us. Luke, I do want to start with you specifically. What is it that you're protesting?
Trump has called Mexican immigrants rapists, murderers, and drug dealers. You could not get away with calling African Americans rapists, murderers, and drug dealers and be the Republican presidential frontrunner. Everyone would clearly say that's racist. But for some reason, it's open season on brown people, and it's open season on Latinos and Mexican Americans and immigrants, and that's wrong. Trump has no place on that Saturday Night Live stage. Racism is not funny. And DeportRacism.com is all about saying we need to be deporting people. We need to be deporting racism, not people.
Okay, so you are actually encouraging someone to disrupt the process tonight. Is that right?
Absolutely. DeportRacism.com has a $5,000 bounty for anybody who will stand up during the live broadcast of Saturday Night Live tonight and tell Trump and yell out, "Trump is a racist," or yell out, "Deport racism." We want to bring the focus right back to the fact that NBC should not be having a man who is calling Latinos and Latino Americans rapists, murderers, and drug dealers. And particularly, he's been attacking children, American citizen children, calling them anchor babies. These are kids who are born in the USA, who have all the rights of the Constitution, and yet he is saying to these kids, exploiting them for cheap political points, he is calling them anchor babies, saying that they are second-class citizens and that they deserve to have the Constitution changed to tear up. Donald Trump wants to tear up the U.S. Constitution to deny these kids their rights.
Okay, so I want to get to you, Dean, because this is an interesting little tidbit. You were an SNL staffer for 8 years, so we want to get your insight on this. Trump admitted yesterday, we know on Fox News, that he did veto some skits so he wouldn't offend voters in Iowa specifically. How much leeway do guests have to come in and kind of cut up those scripts?
Well, it's funny, I wrote an article for CNN Opinion a couple of days ago about this very issue, predicting that there was a chance it's going to happen. Brian Tucker, the co-head writer of Saturday Night Live, was on my radio show a few weeks ago and talked about specifically what goes on today. The host can't veto per se a sketch, but they have a lot of influence, and obviously you can't force a host to go on the set and say things they don't want to say. And I thought there would be this kind of collision where Trump wants the show to help his campaign, at least not hurt it, and the writers want the show to be as funny as possible. And you have this kind of conflict and tension, and you saw it right here. And one thing about what Luke said, I agree with Luke 100%. Trump's comments have been despicable. I've denounced them. But what I don't view Saturday Night Live as having him on as validating those views. And I think if we go down this slope where people start yelling things out at Trump, then they'll yell things out at Hillary Clinton. Because people on the right, like Brian Tucker said to me, were outraged when Hillary Clinton was on the first show of the year, meaning we'll never have politicians on Saturday Night Live again. And I think that's unfortunate as a political comic and as someone who really values political comedy, to lose that form. I think what Luke is saying is the right thing with political form. Yell out at his events. I don't think it's the right place at Saturday Night Live, even though I think what Trump said is despicable, and I agree with Luke 100% on what he's saying.
So what are you expecting from Trump tonight?
Well, I think that if he lets the writers do their job, he does humor that's self-deprecating. He did that in 2004. I worked there when he hosted last time. It's a smart move. People like it when you make fun of yourself. And if anyone has a problem with thin-skinnedness, it's Trump, who lashed out at John Oliver last week, lashed out at Seth Meyers a few years ago, lashed out at Bill Maher for making fun of him. He needs to show he can laugh at himself. And I think if he's smart, he'll do that. We'll see. What else? I'm not sure. But I think that's the one key thing he should be thinking of, one thing he should be doing.
All right. Dean Obeidallah and Luke Montgomery, we appreciate both of you being with us this morning. Thank you.